Welcome back to Business Today. Now, some have celebrated Director of Public Prosecutions Noordin Haji's leadership approach, while others accuse him of skewed prosecutions targeting certain individuals. On this week's Captains of Industry, Haji says navigating the tough political environment makes his job difficult due to interference and interfering of cases and intimidating witnesses. Take a look.
Noordin Haji is the Director of Public Prosecutions. He holds a postgraduate diploma from the Kenya School of Law and was admitted to the bar in 1999. Haji joined the public service in January 2000 as a state counsel at the Attorney General Office. Prior to his appointment as the DPP, he was the Deputy Director, Counter-Organized Crime Unit, National Intelligence Service.
Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. It's really exciting to have you on Captains of Industry. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
It's been about 3-4 years since you took up the helm. What is something that you've learned on the job that you wish you knew when you were starting over?
I thought, this job was as straightforward as the one I came from. But I found that it's quite political, and that at times you must be very cognizant of the politics, and you must be able to navigate through them effectively in a way that you're also still able to discharge your functions and mandate effectively. There's been accusations, of course, that prosecution has been done skewed and that we are targeting certain individuals, but that has not been the case. What I've discovered is that a lot of that is politics, and it's part of the game for the politicians either to gain an upper hand against their opponents or to simply get themselves out of the trouble that they are in. So initially we would panic, but now we are used to it, and we know that that is politicking, and we are much more better prepared, because with it also comes the issue of interfering with cases, intimidating witnesses. We have seen a number of witnesses have been even killed. So we are upping our game also, ensuring that we are covering all angles.
Is that the most difficult part about your job?
I think it is probably the most difficult part of it. One of the biggest problems we have, I think, as a country is the issue of tribalism and ethnicity and nepotism. That has been a big problem and a huge hindrance. Even when it comes to, prosecuting and trying to get a fair hearing, it has not been easy because the tribal ticket has always been thrown and played around. Unfortunately, tribalism and ethnicity is part of our politics.
What's the most exciting part? Is it even exciting at all?
Well, I think the most exciting part is to be given an opportunity to bring some difference in how prosecution is done in Kenya, and how public service is meant to be given to the people, because it's a service. It's a service industry, and we at DPP are trying to do it differently. We are trying to be more responsive to the public. We are trying to be more open by publicizing and sensitizing the public and ensuring that they understand what we are doing. And we are not shying away from criticism. We accept criticism where it is constructive, and we are engaging the public much more robustly. We have been able to do quite a number of changes in ODPP. When I came in, I think it was like being given an army without, I always say this, without boots, without food, without, most important, tools, that is the guns and the ammunition. You can't expect them to go to war and fight the war on graft when they do not have the basic tools. So over time we've been able to build that. We've been able to build a very robust prosecution team.
Nurdin, you were very close to your father, the late Yusuf Haji. What are some of the leadership skills that you learned from him that you've sort of adapted for yourself?
May God rest his soul in peace. I learned quite a lot. I really don't, I can't even differentiate because almost everything that I'm doing today I attribute it to him and what he taught me. Most importantly is public service, doing it honestly and doing it with all your heart for the sake of the Kenyan people. That is, I think, one of the most important things that he taught. The other thing is, of course, to look at things not from an ethnic point of view, but from a national point of view, and look at all Kenyans as equals, and ensure that you're able to work with everybody within all walks of life in Kenya.
Talking about your office as well, I noticed there's a very good gender parity. Your majority
Three-quarters of our staff are women.
Yeah, absolutely, and congratulations. I mean, that's amazing.
Okay, yes, okay. Let me not take the credit because I found it that way. What I've tried to do is to give them opportunity to also take lead. So you will see that we have the Secretary of Public Prosecution, who is effectively my deputy, is a lady. We have actually four women deputy directors and only one male deputy director. So in essence, we have empowered women. In fact, we now have to purposely bring in the boy child because there are very few. But we are proud of that, and really you will see that the women are more sensitive to national issues and more responsive to working for the good of the country. That's my experience also.
How would you encourage more organizations to take up such an initiative? Because just how important is it to have more women in leadership?
Well, I think, things are changing in Kenya. If you look at the judiciary now, you have a lady who is the Chief Justice. That is very progressive. I think the cabinet itself is made up of quite a number of women. And if you look at it critically, you will see that the women are able to deliver much more effectively than their male counterparts. And that is the experience that we've had at the ODPP. The women are really hardworking, and they put the best foot for the interests of the country, rather than their small cocoons of tribes and ethnic biases. So I think for me, maybe it was God sent that I got an office that had three-quarters of women. And I have managed to work with them very effectively. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it, and it was good to have you on Captains of Industry.
Thank you, Brenda.